to another episode of Meet Houston. It is season 3, and this is our 3rd episode. What is Meet Houston? Meet Houston is everything that's happening within our city. For those who are in the city, get exposed to some things that they never knew, and those who are out of the city get a glance of what we're doing right here in H-Town. Super excited about today's show. Why? Because we have an amazing guest. We got Foodie, and if you watched the last episode, you got a chance to witness some of the things that I got a chance to eat and give my review. We also got some Houston happenings. It is the month of March. It is Women's International Month, and we are super excited. That's why I got a bomb guest today. So you guys make sure that you stay connected. Do not go anywhere. We got some Houston happenings, and we have an amazing guest. I won't tell you the name because I want her to introduce herself. We'll be right back. Welcome back to season 3, episode 3 of Meet Houston. And before we went to the break, I talked about this absolutely amazing woman. We also talked about it is Women International Month. And I am so excited to witness all of the things that you guys will be able to witness today on this episode. So let's talk about our guest for today, Miss Dr. Nissi Hamilton, who is a global humanitarian, a doctoral learner, a veteran wife, mother of 7, and a comedian. She led the nation's first political campaign against human trafficking. Her social enterprise has allowed her to work with billionaire attorney Tom Busby and the Real TV for the for-profit corporation, A Survivor's Voice of Victory. Dr. Nissi Hamilton is an award-winning expert in the field of human trafficking, a field she comes with 5 years of pain experience as a survivor. Hamilton is committed to encouraging diversity and inclusion, making a difference in of human trafficking, poverty, and homelessness with minors. You guys, welcome to Meet Houston, Dr. Nissi Hamilton. Hey, Nissi.
Hey, Nika.
Besides all of that, she is my sister. How about that?
I am your sister. Been your sister.
I know. So listen, you have been all over the globe.
Yes, I have.
You are international. Definitely women history. You are women history, a part of women history. So let's talk about who you are for those who haven't gotten a chance to witness, the glory of the story, part of the story, all of those different things. Let's talk about that. Who are you?
Oh, wow. You know what? I haven't had anybody ask me that question in a long time. They strictly just ask me about trafficking.
Right.
I am a global humanitarian.
Yes.
I'm a strategist. I do a lot in risk management. As far as how do laws affect our culture and our community in this 21st century?
Right.
And really just breaking that down, studying it, just, oh my goodness, where would I start? But I mean, that's who I am.
Right.
In essence. And I got this way because of a lot of tragedy that happened to me as a minor myself. And I basically just became a professional of my own life. I studied my own life. And I made sure that as I talked about my life, as I graduated, as people watched me graduate these different phases, that not only was I growing, that people got a chance to grow with me.
For sure.
And I just want to say, Nice is here. And he said, I remember when.
Yeah.
And it felt really good.
Yes.
Because what I heard was exactly who I am.
Right.
The Nissi that's growing.
Right.
So that's who I am.
That is awesome. And so I love that you're well-rounded.
Oh.
Listen, you are not stuck in a box by no means at all.
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
And so what I love also is I remember, maybe not early on when you were sharing your story, but I remember how it was difficult at one time.
Yes, it was.
It was very hard for you to be able to, in some moments, even get past some of the things that, because of being able to remember some of those moments. So I want to talk about, how did you transition from pain to purpose? Like, how did that transition take place?
I'm so glad you asked that question. I had a lot of coming to Jesus moments as I had to learn how to be a survivor of human trafficking. I wanted to make sure that as a survivor, now today a survivor leader in human trafficking, that I manage my time wisely. And the Father is such a master psychologist at this because he's a redeemer.
Yes, he
right?
is.
So, but to deem something means to own it. To redeem it means to own it again. And so I was like, "Ooh, God, you're so juicy," you know. I was like, "Ooh, there's so much," and so I wanted to make sure when he said, "Study to show thyself approved, a workman, right, not ashamed."
Yes, yes.
Everybody got all the parts right, but except for the not ashamed part.
And you definitely have, and it's been a pleasure to be able to watch you not be ashamed.
Woo! That's the learning.
It's been a pleasure to watch you, because oftentimes as women, this is Women History Month.
It is.
You know, we wear a lot of hats, and
We
a lot of
do.
things that we have gone throughout our life, we are ashamed of those things.
Yes.
And they go buried up underneath the surface, and we carry it for years into our relationships, into
Yes.
our situationships with our children, and all of those different things. So you have been in a company of Jeannie Mai.
Yes.
You have been traveling all over. Let's talk about that experience, because I know at one time you felt like you never would be in the position that you were in, or maybe you have. Let's
Right.
talk about that.
You know what? And going from the first question into the second question, I used to hide myself under my mother's story
Yeah.
to really, you know, and it was so hard and difficult for me to explain it because I was trying to protect my mother's reputation. You know what I mean? Because she was not an awesome mom in the terms of conservatorship, right? Today, I'm a constitutional conservative. And so when I hear motherhood, oh, I'm a mama bear. Like, don't come for my children.
Right,
Because
right.
I'm in their life.
Right.
We got a relationship.
Listen, don't get it twisted.
Right.
I'm here, but I also can go there.
Right. I'm going to school functions. We in the
Yeah,
dough.
yeah.
Football games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just to have that presence.
Yeah.
I didn't get that from my mother. So there were a lot of experiences that I didn't get to receive. Learning how to be a mom my own self, and talking about her relations to how I grew up. You know, and then the cycle of abuse as it turned into human trafficking. You know what I mean? It was so many, just so many meticulous steps, and everybody's like, well, how do you go from here to here to here to here?
Right.
You know, so there may be some people who know my story.
Yeah.
They may know that part of my story.
Right.
While still learning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The story, like HPD just put a story out, and they were like, "Oh man, we didn't know you was about to go to jail." I'm like, "Yeah, I was supposed to be arrested."
Right.
You know.
Right.
And so just seeing me now today, but you know, now to the second question, you know, Mika, it's so hard to really just kind of determine just like where I am specifically in all of this. I will say this. Today I'm a consultant, and I've written some laws, and
Yes, you have.
you know, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting to transform my life story in such a way that I could communicate it at our state capitol.
Yeah.
And it'd be done so well.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. I mean, because I'm watching the journey, right? I'm watching. So for myself, it's one of those things like, and I ask this question all the time. You know, when you're going through those moments, you often wonder why. Why was I the person to have to go through all of those different things until you get to the other side, and then God starts planting your feet in these places, and you like, this is the reason why.
Right.
Because he knew that I would be strong enough, and I would be obedient and be the witness, and others will be the witness of the living testimony, right?
Right.
So I often, and I'm like, you know, I've watched, as I said, from the beginning, not the beginning, but from when, and just seeing the transition and just seeing how God has elevated you. And you just going. You don't know where you're going.
I don't know.
You just going. You just like, Lord, wherever you take me, I'm going. And I will be there. And so we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk more about now you are on the other side.
I'm on the other side.
Now you are on the other side. And we're going to talk about that. So we're going to go to a commercial break. But when we come back, we have more with Miss Dr. Nissi Hamilton.
You just hit something. You know I can sue you, right?
This lady is looking at us. Do not make eye contact. Do not look up.
I'm hungry, so what we gonna do about some
I least she might be trying to take our order. I'm not sure. Oh,
You want some chicken?
I'm down for that.
Should we call the police?
We got to call somebody. Call Ghostbusters. Call Chad. I said don't
Is
look.
she doing the statement?
When accidents happen, always keep a level head and just call Chad. He's got you covered.
Another episode of Meet Houston. Before we went to the break, we talked about, of course, this being March, Women's International History Month, and we got the amazing Dr. Nissi Hamilton with us. So we talked about earlier about you working with Jenny Mai, right?
Yes.
So you guys have a upcoming movie called Stopping Traffic 2.
Yes.
Stopping Traffic 2.
Yes, the premiere is actually going to happen today.
Wow. Wow. So let's talk about that experience, because you talked about you being in consulting.
Yes.
And so let's talk about in real time how this movie plays or have had an impact of you versus what has happened to you previous.
Oh, good. I'm glad you asked that question. Well, I am a survivor of human trafficking. As we all know, or for some people who may not know that about me, I survived trafficking from the age of 14, and I thank people like Crime Stoppers, HPD. Of course, you, the nice, my comedy family,
Yes.
that went through just that learning and growth stage
Right.
with me and things like that. But I ended up being, the first case in the state of Texas where my traffickers sued me for child support, and they won.
I did not know that.
Yes.
So this is what you were mentioning earlier about parts of the story that people don't know.
Right.
Wow.
Well, we were trying to save some stuff for the
Right.
book
Absolutely.
and things like that. But I also want to make sure that the audience was never confused about who I am. And once you become a survivor, it means that you no longer have a private life.
Right.
So nothing about my life is ever private no more. You know? So everything is public.
Okay.
And with that, I did go to jail. I did experience some things. I did go through some things with DFPS, who is also now a partner to me
Okay.
too. So, I consult for them as well for the human trafficking.
Okay.
But I'm glad that I did get a chance to set it part of my story and be able to not be ashamed.
Right. Right.
And speak that truth. And so here we are today. As my story was still developing and I was finding the character and just my position and who I was at that particular time, the focus from the producer with working with Jenny Mai was, what does life look like after you survive? And that was really huge. So I ended up being a consultant for the movie as a survivor leader consultant. And I'm super duper happy about that was my role, opposed to me just telling my story. Because I always tell my story. Right. And I don't have a problem with that, because I want everybody to go through that healing journey and grow and learn and things like that. But just being able to, be on set with some amazing women, just like Tracy Faulkner, who's like a mother to me and my children, and we've really grown a close relationship. She's like a debutante. She's amazing. I absolutely love her. The woman is an angel. And then working with Jenny Mai and Marion, and also the monks, these monks who sought out how to affect time of it, and what does that look like culturally?
Right. So if for those who are in your space and don't know how to be open to speak about it, is it more counseling? I'm just trying to see what the consultant side is for those who are viewing. They need to reach out to you for some consulting.
Don't attack me. So what ends up happening is, like I said, because I'm I'm an expert in this space now, you get to hear survivor stories from all over, all different walks of life. And per the direction of the movie and the producers and what they wanted to highlight, it was more or less, hey, Nissi, what's the best part to highlight here? What's the best part of this survivor triumph to highlight here? Things like that. We wanted to make sure that the movie wasn't messy, that it wasn't, superficial. We wanted to show people the hardships of what that looks like for a survivor to walk away from untaxed progressive income, right? Because I could turn a trick and make $1,500, $2,000,
right?
But now you gonna go tell me to make that $8 an hour? What do you do with that?
Yeah, for sure.
And so really just capturing
Mhm.
what that looks like
Mhm.
for a survivor.
Mhm.
And so, for me being a consultant
Mhm.
at that particular place,
Mhm.
it allowed me to create a platform
Mhm.
because I got to work with Jenny Mai.
Right.
For people to
Right.
take what I do seriously.
Yeah.
To, promote my ideas
Mhm.
and expand them
Mhm.
into different products, services, different areas, you know what I mean, and make those arrangements. So that's what it was for me in that position.
That's awesome. And I'm looking at it again. I've seen you dig in the trenches, right? Like I've seen you at the stores. I've seen you in the homes, in the neighborhood, walking the pavement to find children
Yes.
and to the track. I mean, I've seen you dig in the trenches. And so to know that this is a good space.
Yes.
Because it's coming from an authentic place. I think it's absolutely amazing. So shout out to everybody, the idea, the visionary, and you yourself for even being strong enough to say that you can listen to all of these stories and be a part of the journey. So I have this question. You are doing so much. You have grown in platforms. You're moving wherever God plants your feet. Like, what is the ultimate day or the ultimate year that will say, I served my purpose?
Well, I won't know that until I actually die. So, thank you, Jesus. I hope whoever's writing me down in the book of life that I am written about in the book of life. But what keeps me going, that motivation that says, hey, you got to do this. I remember I had a come to Jesus moment, and I'm going to ask you a question. When have we seen a female comedian come out of Houston and make it to the top?
None.
We haven't. I was that female comedian. Like I was on my way.
Yeah.
I was selling out improvs left and right, 600 people. It was like this was easy money. And that coming to Jesus moment for me meant that I had to walk away from something I was good at to go pick up something that I didn't know nothing about.
Right.
And that's how you know when it's God.
Yes.
Because the money be good.
Yes.
Everybody wants you. They love you. You're working with people from all over. I'm going to tell you how tight it was. 2015, I was in LA with Hope Flood. And Hope Flood put me and Tiffany Haddish together. And I was like, why you put me and Tiffany together? She's just as crazy as I am. This was in 2015. And she was like, because both of y'all are going to go something, go places. Both of y'all are going to do something exciting. I don't know what it is, but both of y'all are going to do it. And this is when Tiffany was this big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we really didn't know anything, about her like that. Come to find out we both were in foster care. Come to find out we both Jews. Come to find out we both had daddy issues. Things like that and stuff. And so it was just so crazy. That's how, this is how tight the fame and that glory was coming for me. Yeah. And I put that down to pick up a cross, to deal with something that I had never thought to deal with before, because that's what made me funny. That hurt is what made me funny. Them wasn't jokes. That was my real life I was talking about. Those were real instances that I was talking about. Because trafficking means to be traced. You ain't just with one person at one time. I've probably slept with about 6,000 people. Yeah. During my tenure in trafficking. Wow. Since I was a child coming into an adult. So surviving isn't the easiest thing to do. You have to make a choice every single day that I know I can make that quick coin. Wow. But that ain't worth my salvation. That's the idea. So when I ask God, why would you send me? Because I'm dirty, I'm nasty, I ain't figured out my story. I was just doing comedy. I would rather do that. I have a creative side. Now you want me to put my creative stuff down to talk to people about something that I was trying to hide. You want me to tell my business, get talked about and ridiculed.
He know who to choose to do what. He definitely know who to choose to do what. And so just so excited and proud of you. And this is Women's History Month. And just excited to be the first that I will be able to highlight because you've done so much, and I'm just so grateful that God allowed our paths to cross. Yes. And for us to grow in sisterhood and beyond, to be able to witness all of the things that we are accomplishing as women. Right. As women. So for those, we know that the premiere is tonight. Yes. We know that you probably will be in, we don't know where Nissi will be. Nissi will be in Hawaii speaking. She'll be in Africa, wherever. So what else is coming up that you would like for those to follow you to be able to witness?
Oh, you guys, please follow me on www.nissihamilton.com. You can also email me any comments, questions, concerns, nissi.hamilton@yahoo.com. And follow me on Facebook, Nissi Hamilton, hashtag I Survive Human Trafficking. And Twitter, if you want to catch me on Twitter, I'm always there at Hamilton Nissi. And then on Instagram, I'm _Nissi Hamilton. And I'm barely on Instagram because I'm still learning how to work it.
Well, that's okay, because in a minute you're not even gonna have to work.
I know, right? It's so much because I have to stop people from attacking my time. That's how busy I am.
Absolutely,
all the time.
absolutely.
But I'll be in LA for the premiere of the movie with Jeannie Mai and the monks and everybody else.
That is
March
so
26th,
exciting.
So I'm excited about
March 26th. So March 26th, y'all make sure that y'all follow Nissi. Listen, when the movie come out, make sure that you support. Definitely something with a purpose. It's not just a movie, but it's with a purpose. And excited to be able to see all of the things that you got a chance to experience with these women, these ladies, especially Jeannie Mai. I just love her spirit.
Girl, she down to earth.
Yeah.
Like, she is so real. I absolutely love her. And then one other thing, you guys, I want to mention, because I have done some consulting work with DFPS for the Human Trafficking Summit that's going to come. It's going to be here in Dallas in June.
Okay.
It's going to be super duper amazing. It is absolutely free. You guys should be there. What I'm going to be doing in April is talking about some different techniques that parents can use if they have a CPS case.
Okay.
And I'm going to be doing that in April. So I'm going to tell you guys, please come to that class.
Okay.
You guys are going to be in for a very, very special treat. And I just want to make sure that family unification, not reunification, all right? Family unification is there, and that we have a strong, background of family, and that we change how we see raising our children and things like that, and get out of that mindset and that scope of separating our families and things like that. You can have 5 kids, but sometimes it's 2 kids being raised over here, 3 kids being raised over there. And a lot of times it's because, I had a CPS case, and it'll spiral out of control because there's no support system.
Right.
And typically moms need help with walking through what that process look like, how to find an attorney, what to say. Should I sign a safety plan or should I not sign a safety plan? Different things like that. And what I'm saying is, I'm here to be your support system. So please take that class.
Absolutely. And so that is in the month of April.
Yes, we're going to do that in
that's
April.
next month. So super excited about that. So make sure that you follow Nissi. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. I got Houston happenings, and then I got a foodie. Nissi, I have foodies.
Girl.
Like, I go and rate these restaurants.
I'm so hungry now.
And I got a guest with me this time. So y'all make sure that y'all stay right there. We'll be right back. This week was Fish City Grill, the foodie of the week. Had an amazing time, some firecracker shrimp, as well as some bread pudding and some french fries. Awesome. I will give it a 10. Not only was the firecracker shrimp not spicy, it was just right, but I ended it with a refresher. This week's foodie of the week. We are back. Had an amazing show with Dr. Nissi Hamilton today on the 3rd episode of Meet Houston Season 3. So that was the foodie of the week. Now let's talk about some Houston happenings. So I have no idea, and you tell me if you knew about this. Because there is March, the month of March, there's candlelit concerts. Did you know about candlelit concerts?
No, but baby, I'm not going nowhere with no candles and no fire and no black folks, okay?
Listen.
Because we tend to burn things down.
Burn it down. But listen, the concert that I saw is a candlelit tribute to Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Al Green, and here it's at the Resurrection Metropolitan Community Church.
But why are we doing a candlelit for Stevie Wonder?
And he's still alive. That's what I said. And then at Resurrection Metropolitan Community Church.
But at the church,
At the church house.
Marvin.
Look, and then I was thinking, let's get
on
on
at the
at the
church.
church. Ah, baby. Let's get it on. So that's what's happening in the city of Houston in the month of March. So many other things is happening. One of the Houston fun facts that I got a chance to witness is there's some cheese that you aren't able to sell in Houston on a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
A specific cheese. And I thought that was really weird. I
What
thought it was
cheese is
only
it?
alcohol that you couldn't sell at the store.
What's the name of the cheese? I'm gonna have to call.
I'm going to have to find out the name of that cheese.
You know what? They trying to cut down on gas.
That could very well be the reason. That could very
They
well
got
be
so
the
much methane going on in the air, so when they talking about gas prices on the news, they confusing us.
Yeah.
They talking about that cheese.
Yeah. No, you know what? It's Limburger cheese.
Limburger cheese.
Limburger cheese. They cannot sell that in the city of Houston, and they said it's a law. Now, you know you into the laws, so check
Just
that out
on
for me.
Sundays?
Just on Sundays. Just on Sundays.
Ooh.
So guess what? We have had an amazing show. It's been awesome. It is Women's History Month. I'm so excited that I was able to have my sister on the show today. If you want some advertising or if you want to be the next guest, you can definitely reach out to myself on any of my social media platforms. You can contact me by email at mikadiamondinc@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with all of the information. Nissi, sis, thank you so much for joining me. I love you too. Excited about what's taking place on tonight, the premiere.
Yes.
You guys make sure that you follow Nissi because she has so much going on, so many things, so many historical moments, especially this month that you need to find out about herself, not only about Nissi, but all of those who are in the city of Houston who are digging in the trenches, who really, really are creating historical moments for our city. So we will see y'all next week on the next episode of Meet Houston, 7 p.m. on a Thursday on the Culture Vision TV network.